3 terrifying tales of unsettling encounters in new houses. Story number 1. I lived with my older brother for 4 years until he decided to move out due to better financial circumstances. Unable to afford the apartment alone, I searched for a roommate but opted for a cheaper option instead. I came across Evan, a homeowner renting out a room in his house. Intrigued, I expressed my interest and we had a phone call. Evan explained that I could utilize all the rooms in the house, which appealed to me. A few weeks later, I loaded my belongings into a U-Haul and drove to the house. Although Evan had sent me pictures, I hadn't seen it in person yet. Upon arrival, Evan greeted me in the garage and gave me a tour of the house. He kindly assisted me in moving my belongings into the room. Evan appeared like an ordinary guy in his mid-30s, slightly older than me, but I didn't mind. After finishing everything, I returned the U-Haul and took an Uber back to the house. It was late, so I told Evan I was going to bed and went to my room. After moving in, I got ready for bed. When I tried to lock the bedroom door, I saw there was no lock on the inside. I asked Evan about it, but he didn't know either. During the night, I woke up to sounds in the kitchen. Then, I realized Evan had locked me in from outside. I was angry and scared, so I demanded he let me out. Unwillingly, he unlocked the door. I confronted him, and he said he did it for his own safety. I decided I wanted to leave, so I packed my things, leaving some food behind. While loading the moving truck, Evan showed up again and tried to trap me inside, but I managed to escape and drove away. I found a temporary place to stay with my brother. I'm still not sure what really happened in that house. Story number 2. Last winter, I moved to a big new house. On the first night, while sleeping on the couch, I heard strange footsteps outside. When I woke up in the morning, I was surprised to find the front door unlocked, even though I was sure I locked it. I spent the whole day unpacking and arranging furniture. When I came back home in the evening, I saw footprints in the snow leading to my front door, but they suddenly disappeared at the cleared sidewalk. It made me wonder about the mysterious things happening in my new home. Maybe it was just a friendly neighbor stopping by, and I convinced myself of that to feel better. After unpacking, I made sure all the doors and windows were secure before going to bed. But when I approached the front door, I noticed it was unlocked again. I couldn't understand why this kept happening. Nothing was missing, and there were no signs of a break-in. Determined to stay calm, I locked the door and went to shower. As I finished, I heard a faint sound downstairs. With everything going on, I couldn't ignore it. I got dressed and went downstairs cautiously. To my shock, I saw a man in the hallway standing still with the front door open behind him. I ran back upstairs, locked myself in my room, and called the police. While waiting, I heard the man walking around downstairs. Eventually, he left, and the police found no evidence. I installed security cameras and changed the locks, but I'm still scared he might come back. I don't know his intentions, and I hope I never have to find out. Story number 3. I moved to a new house, but my neighbor across the street made me uncomfortable. He was always home, staring at me without speaking or smiling. It seemed odd. One night, I heard him dragging a ladder in his yard, which was strange for that time. I tried to dismiss my concerns as delusions, but his presence continued to unsettle me. One morning, he stood at the end of my driveway, staring at me through my window. Feeling uneasy, I quickly left in my car with him watching me. The situation worsened when I heard footsteps in my fenced backyard, but they stopped when I checked. His constant spying and peculiar behavior made me increasingly uncomfortable. I lay in bed, waiting for what felt like an eternity, but the footsteps never returned. I cautiously checked the window once more, and there in the darkness stood a figure, watching me from the far end of the yard. Fear gripped me as I called the police, but by the time they arrived, the person had vanished. I shared my concerns about my disturbing neighbor, but the police couldn't take action without evidence of wrongdoing. Feeling alone and endangered, I took precautions like locking my doors and minimizing time spent outside. However, a few weeks later, I experienced a terrifying incident. In the dead of night, I awoke to a loud thud against the house wall outside my second-floor bedroom window. Trembling, I spied out and was shocked to see my neighbor's face just inches away, trying to look into my room from a ladder. He rapidly fled when he saw me. I immediately contacted the police again, and they seized him while he was attempting to remove the ladder. Although he denied any wrongdoing, it became evident that other neighbors had also encountered his suspicious behavior. Perhaps if they had reported him earlier, my trauma could have been prevented. Thankfully, the situation is now behind me. Must subscribe to our channel. See you in the next tale.